back to Triple Goddess Soapery. My name is Angela, and today we are restocking my lightweight, non-greasy hand and body lotion. This is a formula that I have been making since about 2016. It originated back on Marie's blog, Humblebee and Me, when I first started formulating. It is her lemon chiffon hand lotion. Now, since then, I have learned to formulate. I've done lots of research, and I have changed this formula to be my own. I've added things, taken things away, but if you're looking for a great place to start, that is a great place to go and start your research. If you are looking for this particular formula, it will be available on my Patreon sometime in 2025. Just haven't gotten there yet. I do have lots of formulas over there, including my thick, rich, and creamy body lotion or body cream, so you can find that over on Patreon, as well as lots of other things. As well, I also am now at the first tier of monetization with YouTube, so thank you all very much. I couldn't have gotten there without you. You will see that there is a memberships tab now, as well as super thanks. I am starting to upload some short videos that do have the formulas included in those videos. So that has begun. So if you want to be a member, you can check that out as well. I just want to also say thank you for being here. If it wasn't for you, I would not be where I am today. Some free things that you can do to support me would be to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It means a lot to us small makers. Now, all that being out of the way, this is my favorite hand and body lotion. It's super lightweight, non-greasy, it absorbs really quick, and I'm going to just run through the ingredients for you right now, but like I said, the full formula won't be available until sometime in 2025. So I have 3 phases. I have the water phase, the oil phase, and the cool down phase. First, we take the water, the glycerin, and the silk peptides, and we measure that out in one container. Then I measure out my hemp seed oil, emulsifying wax, jojoba oil, and cetyl alcohol in a second container. I put those on the water bath and I melt them down and get them up to temperature. While that's happening, I measure out my allantoin, my vitamin E, and my liquid Germol Plus, and then my fragrance as well. So that's my quick and dirty formula that I use. Once everything's ready, I pour my water phase into my oil phase and I emulsify with my stick blender. This comes together really easily. I do my first blend for about a minute and then I let it rest 5 or 10 minutes and then I blend again, let it rest for 5 or 10 minutes, blend again. Not entirely sure you need to go through all that hassle, but that's what I do. When it is cool enough, so under about 120 degrees, then I add my cool down phase and I blend that as well. And with this particular batch, I am breaking it up into three containers because I'm using 3 different fragrances. So I just measure it out on my scale and I have my 3 separate containers, and then I just add my fragrance to each container. So now back to what's actually happening on the screen. I'm just adding my cool down phase now, minus the fragrance, and I'm going to blend that in with the stick blender, and then we're going to split this up. I'm using oatmeal, milk, and honey today, as well as pink citrus and rose petals. I chose those 3 fragrances because, you know, one is a floral, one is kind of gourmand and like cozy and sweet, and then the other one is citrus, and I just thought that would be a nice combination to have on my shelf, basically, for my customers to just kind of hit 3 different fragrance profiles. I also, as well, at this time, I made a couple of bottles for my workplace. One of the ladies really likes peppermint, so I did a couple bottles of peppermint lotion to go in the bathrooms at work. That's just my little Christmas present to them. So here we go. I'm just splitting it off into 3 containers. That way I can add my fragrance. And I just hand stir in my fragrance here. You could blend it in, but I really don't think it's necessary. And I'm using a pipette for accuracy. One thing to note too, or to consider, is the smaller your batches, the more precise and accurate you need to be. I mean, you should always be as accurate as possible, but again, smaller the batch, the more accurate you need to be, because Small overages can really make a big difference to your formula, to the texture, to the consistency, and to the way it performs. So just keep that in mind. All right, so we got it all mixed up. And one thing you don't see on the screen is I do make a lot of mess during this video making this lotion, but that all gets chopped out. And I didn't want this video to be, 30 minutes long for something that is relatively simple. So we are going to weigh out each bottle on the scale and pour them. The bottles came from Voyager Soap and Candle, I believe, and I will link that all below. And these are plastic bottles with a pump top. I don't know if they're still available with Voyager. I did buy them a long time ago, and part of the reason I decided to remake this lotion after a year and a half was to use up these bottles. And because I've had a few requests for people asking to get these bottles or get pump bottles again for my lotion, so that's why I'm remaking this now. And it is really nice and I do really like it, so why not? I do kind of waver back and forth with the products that I keep in stock, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. And I've definitely, in the last 3 years, come to the conclusion that I'm not tied to any particular thing. And here's the final product. This is what it looks like. Super light, non-greasy, absorbs really quickly, and I love it. I have it sitting at my desk right now. And we are going to go through the packaging process as well, and I'll tell you where I got everything. So this label ledge here came from Etsy, and I will link all of these things down below. These labels are 2.5 by 5-inch labels from Online Labels, and they are waterproof. And I do recommend waterproof labels for most things that you make because people are going to store them in their bathrooms and get them wet, and it's going to be an issue. And you don't need a label ledge like this, but it does certainly make things easier, especially the bigger and longer the label is, the more noticeable it is if it's crooked. So something just to consider, right? And we are just getting all the bottles labeled and ready to go, and that's what they look like. Now the last step is going to be the boxes. The boxes come from Temu, and I will link those below as well. They fit 4-ounce bottles really well. I use them for various different 4-ounce containers. And these labels are also from Online Labels. They are 4 by 3 inches, and at some point I do plan to get things customized printed boxes and all that good stuff. But until I'm really, settled down on exactly what I'm making and formulas and all that good stuff, there's really no point. So we're just about to the end here. I just want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you have a fabulous day. Today's New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year.